Hi, my name is Thomas from thomasyoungauthor.com, and this afternoon I want to make a video about some thoughts I was having this week, and also about some reactions I received and I felt from people about the things I'm writing about and the videos I'm posting. And I want to share my thoughts on that. So, as a lot of people are really pissed with me for the things I'm writing about, because you can tell. I mean, for a lot of people, identifying as gay is very, very important. But you see, I find it a little strange that these people get upset with me when I say, okay, I always saw myself as a homosexual, but for me that gay identity was something I was always skeptical about. I never really wanted to embrace fully, and I still don't, because to me, although I was very interested in sexuality with people of the same sex, I was never really interested sort of in the wider world around that, or sort of the ideas that revolve there. I always I was a skeptic, and I still am. I mean, I can see why that world is alluring and why it's interesting and everything like that, but I was always at a distance. Like I'm at a distance to most things in this world. It's not just about being gay, it's about more than that. So I have issues identifying with a lot of things, not just with being gay. That's not the only thing. But you see, I think these people would argue, yeah, but because you're so different from other people, that's exactly the reason why you should call yourself gay, or why you should call yourself queer. But I'm like, no, because that world, those people, that can also take on like these cult like elements, these group dynamics, I really resent, and I never felt at home with any people, and certainly not with these people. And then there's in writing my essays, I also start thinking about a lot of things, and I'm making a lot of observations. And one strong observation I'm making is, I see a lot of women now. I encounter a lot of women who are now in their early 20s, and when I see them, I mean, I seem to notice that among most of these women, there's a. It feels to me that they are more boyish than women 20 years ago, when I was young, 25 years ago. You see, because 25, I was not attracted to women whatsoever. I was disgusted by women. I could not imagine myself being with a woman. But now when I see these women, I saw like they have this boyish quality, and not so much in a tomboy way, but in a hot way. Like it makes them even more attractive in the way they do their hair and their makeup and stuff like that. And sometimes when I see, like, especially when they're with their boyfriends, I was like, okay, if a person like me would live today, I mean, yes, I would probably still have this strong same-sex attraction, but I could imagine myself with such a woman, just in my head, if that were the options, if that were the option. I thought, also, the other day I saw a video of this guy who's big on Twitch, and he's a gamer and a political activist. His name is Hassan Piker, and he's also gay, and he had a friend who's gay, and he said, I think I'm gay because I always feel that women are not attracted to me. And that's a thought I also used to have. So it was not an overarching thought, but that was a thought when I was young that also crossed my mind. So even if I were interested in a woman, they would never ever be interested in me. So that I also found interesting. I think the point I'm making is that you cannot separate your homosexuality from the times or the place you live in. I think these things are interlinked, not necessarily in a cause and effect way, but they do have to do with each other. So I'm wondering if a person like me, I don't know, would have lived, like a little thought experiment, if I would have lived today, would I have chosen to be with women? I'm not sure in the end. Because I'm also like, you know, I just came back from running some errands, and you know, and I run into a lot of guys, and my mode of thinking is still how I approach guys, how I relate to men. I'm always like on the hunt. So I'm always thinking, okay, is this a potential sexual partner? Can I make contact? Can something happen? But the thing is, I never act on it anymore. But the thought still goes there, and the mindset is still there. And then I think also okay, let's assume me and that guy would get talking, and we would agree to, I don't know, engage in sexual activity. I mean, as soon as we would get undressed, after 2 minutes, I would be like bored probably, you know, because I had so much promiscuous sex in my life. You know, at some point it really gets boring. Especially, I'm now 44 years old. I mean, it's not, you know, at some point it stops being fun, at least for me. And I'm also not the kind of person who, let's say, can imagine being in a monogamous relationship. Because, you see, I mean, my homosexuality is also like inextricably linked with promiscuity. I cannot, you know, entangle the two. I mean, it's almost at a spiritual level. It's not even that you know, this is just some bad behavior I acquired. No, it's just, that's homosexuality for me means I want them all, within certain limits, of course. But you know what I mean. But I'm not. I feel like I'm not really able to enjoy it anymore. And you know, also in the past, some people told me that, for example, in a country like Japan, it is, let's say, more normal, sort of more widespread that, you know, guys that when they get a little older, they get married and have children anyway. So when they're young, they're living the homosexual or gay lifestyle, and when they get older, they marry a woman. And I mean, that is basically what, you know, the eldest brother of my father did. So that was also like an option presented to me within my own family. And I'm wondering, would I be able to do such a thing? Would I, you know, to get a woman and get married and stuff? I'm not sure. I don't know, because I still feel attracted to men. It's something. The attraction is not there. But I'm also finding out that I started to think differently about women. So I mean, my thinking about women evolved anyway. I wasn't the misogynist I was when I was 20. I didn't hate women as much when I was, I don't know, 35. No, I was 20. But now I'm thinking, could I imagine myself being with a woman, also like in a sexual way? And that's what is a question that's on my mind now. Would that be a possibility? Okay, that was it for today. Thank you.